All right, so after the preamble, now we get to the practical part. You see, we're always on the lookout for the new things, like how to get things better. And remember, I mentioned that the fact that the vibro guns, they are delivering this high hertz, so that with their standards being from 900 RPM to 2500 RPM, which is effectively then bordering the 20, 30, 40 hertz, so giving you the equivalent of, say, 25, 30 milliseconds activation, which is faster than the way how the muscle works, and overrides the activation of the tendon. That is really the huge, amazing opportunity that they give to us. Like providing this percussive source for the fascial induction, opening opportunities, the doors which are closed. But there were certain things which were troubling. Like if you try any of the regular guns and try to work with them with the hand, it's still, or with the fingers, it's still not the most convenient thing. Or when you need to work, for example, at the bottom of the hand or at the bottom of the ribcage, right? So where you have the sensitive part of the solar plexus and the reflex and so on. Or when you want to selectively work the clavicles. It's a lot of these areas where we would want to be able to get even more precisely the layers, but we couldn't because the tools that we had were limiting us. And then suddenly we discovered this. You see, it looks like a microphone. I'm not going to do any karaoke thing, so otherwise I will get zero viewership. So, and then this thing amazingly has hyperspeed. So this one, when the other guns end with 2500 RPM, so which is like 40 hertz, this one starts with 5000 RPM. So this starts with 80 hertz. It's super quick. And what happens in that? Higher frequency means what? Means lower amplitude. Means that things don't fly. And you can see, this is the finger that is still very weak. You see, very, like, my knuckles and everything is here. But even if I put this one, try it with the other gun, you'll see how the whole thing will fly. You see, here it provides the super local response and you really feel it through the tendon. So this is a huge opportunity for us. Even though these things look like strange, like metal and so on, we can once we put the interfaces in between, our usual interfaces, we can really comfortably do, because there is no real amplitude there. So even if it's a metal tool, if it's a metal head, it just glides, and it's enough to have a minimal sort of things in between. So we have the opportunity to work selectively, the clavicles, the lower ribs. So the things which we always wanted to do, but it was always like, okay, let's use the small gun, let's tilt it, let's do this. It was always like so many people were complaining, oh, my kid doesn't like it, we feel that it's irritating irritant about the reflex and so on. Understandable. So this is the first new thing, and I'm really kind of counting on that. This is a huge thing for us, for the digits, one thing, and absolutely like massive booster for the ability to get the selective ribs. And then on top of it there will be more things, but that's kind of the first good news, and I really feel very excited because this one kind of comes in in a few designs, but fortunately even the cheapest one is the one which is working fine. It's also a bit lighter than the Pro version, so it's because the Pro version you really need to do with two hands. So a bit lighter, single hand, works fine. I can even do it with the right one, although sort of a bit imperfectly, but nonetheless. So that's good news, and I really want to introduce this to everybody as a kind of chunk of the signify our renewal and return to form, so that we are back into the productive stages. And of course, we've really been able to design a whole bunch of the new exercises here during the Spanish sessions. I'm now going towards the sessions in Hungary, so which will bring more designs, but we already have kind of several really exciting exercises to deliver, which we are going to get. So Mauricio already had a taste of them himself, and he's really excited also for teaching those. So that's our plan for the next sort of immediate action, starting, let's say, next week, so that we'll start this refreshment package for the new Hyperspeed things, to get those important elements going, which are universally important for everybody, and then from there we will take it to the more specific parts. Actually, see, the pectoral impact is absolutely amazing. You can get it there. So it's like, I'm really excited about this. So that's a huge opening, the use of the Hyperspeed guns. So, well, it doesn't look like a gun. It actually looks like a microphone there. So I think that with this kind of karaoke step, we want to salute you and send a positive message. So things are starting to happen. My own situation, from what I tend to describe for the progress of your kids, is saying, well, we start with the very bad, and then we strike the very of the bad, right? So now I'm kind of yet not in such a good situation, but it's a manageable badness, and certain things are starting to show up in the positive dimension as well. So, and that is finally a relief, so things are starting to be workable. So I think that should be it. Sending the cheers and the best wishes to you, and I also want to say that I'm very grateful for kind of the wishes that I received through Manuel. So that's been very encouraging to see that, look, you are doing something, and people are not complaining, so they are really actually saying, okay, so look, we wish you all the best, and hopefully that things kind of work out. So it's still a long rehabilitation road in front of me, because look, it's not just a cracked bone, it's the bone which has to kind of be refilled in certain spaces and so on. So it's a long thing, so it's you can't get it faster than it naturally grows. So it's probably another 6-9 months at least. So I will be giving you some update, and in that sense it's also going to be even further learning curve. So thank you very much for your patience, thank you very much for your attention, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you some new excitement with these new tools, which are really giving us the access to much needed nuances. Cheers, all the best.